Have you ever heard a mournful cry carried on the night wind? A sound that seems to seep into your very bones. A wail that sounds like a woman's desperate plea. Miss He. Oh, my children. If you have, you might have been closer than you think to one of the most enduring and chilling legends of Hispanic culture. Lali, the Weeping Woman. This story, passed down through generations, has haunted the riversides and moonlit paths of Latin America and beyond for centuries. It's a tale of love, betrayal, and a sorrow so profound it transcends death itself. But who was she? And why does she weep? Let's journey back in time to uncover the tragic origins of La Llorona. The most popular version of the legend begins in a small village in colonial Mexico. There lived a woman named Maria, a beauty so striking that all who saw her were captivated. She was proud of her looks and believed she was destined for a life far grander than her humble beginnings. Her days were spent dreaming of marrying a man of wealth and status. One day, a dashing nobleman rode into her village. He was handsome, rich, and from a prestigious family. When his eyes met Maria's, he was instantly enchanted. He showered her with gifts and attention, and despite the vast difference in their social standing, they fell deeply in love. Maria believed her dreams had finally come true. She ignored the warnings of her fellow villagers and the disapproval of his family. For a time, their love story was like a fairy tale. They married, and soon she gave birth to 2 beautiful sons. For a while, they were a happy family. But as time passed, the nobleman's true nature began to show. His visits became less frequent. He would leave for weeks, sometimes months at a time, traveling and carousing with people of his own class. He started to speak openly of his regret, wishing he had married a woman of his own standing. Maria, once the center of his world, was now a source of shame, a reminder of his impulsive past. He still visited his sons, but he barely acknowledged Maria, his affection for her having withered away. Maria's heart filled with a terrible mix of rage and despair. She saw the man she loved slipping away, and all her dreams turning to dust. One evening, her heart shattered completely. She was walking by the river with her 2 sons when she saw her husband's carriage approaching. But he wasn't alone. Beside him sat a beautiful, elegant lady, a woman of his own class. He smiled and spoke with her, but as he passed by Maria and his own children, he looked right through them, offering not even a glance of recognition. In that moment, something inside Maria snapped. Blinded by a furious, all-consuming jealousy, she was no longer the loving mother her sons knew. She grabbed her 2 small boys, dragged them to the riverbank, and in a fit of uncontrollable rage, she pushed them into the churning water. As the current swept them away, their cries fading into the gurgle of the river, the full horror of her actions washed over her. Screaming their names, she ran along the riverbank, desperately trying to save them, but it was too late. The river had claimed them. Consumed by guilt and grief, Maria wandered the river's edge for days, her clothes tattered, her voice hoarse from crying. Miss He. She refused to eat or sleep, until finally, her own body gave out, and she collapsed and died on the very spot where she had lost her children. But her story doesn't end there. In fact, this is where the legend truly begins. When Maria Suspira arrived at the gates of the afterlife, she was asked a simple question. Where are your children? Unable to answer, she was denied entry. She was condemned to wander the earth in a state between the living and the dead, eternally searching for the souls of her lost sons. And so she became La Llorona. Her beautiful form was replaced by a ghostly apparition, often described as a tall, slender figure draped in a flowing white gown, her face hidden in shadow or twisted by eternal anguish. She is forever bound to the waterways of the world, the rivers, lakes, and streams where she committed her terrible act. Her mournful cry, "Oh, my children," has become a chilling omen. It's said that if you hear her cry far away, it means she is very close. But if a wail sounds near, she is actually far off. For generations, parents have used her story to warn their children not to wander out after dark. Be home before the sun sets, they'd say, or La Llorona might mistake you for her own and snatch you away. This part of the legend is perhaps the most terrifying. Some versions say she kidnaps wandering children, hoping to present them at the gates of heaven in place of her own. only to be rejected time and time again. Others believe that in her tormented state, she drowns any child she finds, repeating her horrific crime in an endless cycle of grief and madness. The story of La Llorona isn't confined to a single place. It has spread and evolved, taking on different forms in various countries. In Venezuela, she is said to punish unfaithful husbands. In Guatemala, her cries are an omen of death. The core elements, however, remain the same: a grieving mother, a watery grave, and a ghostly eternal search. Why has this legend persisted for so long? What is it about La Llorona that continues to captivate and terrify us? On one level, it's a cautionary tale about jealousy, rage, and the devastating consequences of acting on our darkest impulses. It warns of the dangers of letting passion override reason. But there's a deeper, more tragic layer to her story. La Llorona is also a symbol of immense loss and a mother's unending grief. She represents the ultimate sorrow, the loss of a child, and the eternal punishment of being responsible for that loss. In a way, we can feel a sliver of sympathy for her. For the woman Maria once was, before her heart was broken and her mind was lost to despair. The legend also reflects the complex social dynamics of colonial Latin America, touching on themes of class, race, and the difficult position of women. Maria, a woman of indigenous or mixed heritage, is ultimately abandoned by her European partner, a narrative that played out in real life countless times during that era. Her story can be seen as an allegory for the betrayal and suffering experienced by many women in a society that gave them little power or protection. So, the next time you find yourself near a river late at night, and the wind whispers through the trees, listen closely. If you hear a faint, sorrowful cry that makes the hair on your arm stand up, don't stay to investigate. It might just be the wind, but it might be La Llorona, the weeping woman, forever searching for the children she can never get back. Her tale serves as a powerful reminder that some sorrows are so deep, they create echoes that last forever. Thank you for joining me on this journey into one of the most famous legends of the Hispanic world. What do you think? Is La Llorona a monster to be feared, or a tragic figure to be pitied? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring myths and legends, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories from around the globe. Stay curious and stay safe.